Hey, what is going on, guys? In this video today, we're going to be going over the truth about accuracy, aiming, and just gun skill in general inside of Fortnite. Having good gun skill in Fortnite, which is obviously a product of having good aim, is undeniably incredibly important. And I think that for the most part, the majority of Fortnite players are able to recognize this. It's a major reason why guys like Nickmercs can be top tier players without having anywhere near top tier building skills. And that's not a slight towards him at all. Even he would admit that that is definitely true. Because of this, I see a huge amount of desire from the Fortnite community to find ways to practice and improve accuracy. I believe that this desire has led to some pretty inaccurate and maybe even somewhat misleading theories centered around improving in-game accuracy. So today we're going to be fully examining the fact and fiction behind improving gun skill in Fortnite Battle Royale. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I want to discuss in this video today are aiming drills, which I've seen popping up a lot recently, especially on console Fortnite. Many people believe that aiming drills or aim trainers, they go by a bunch of different names, are a surefire way to improve your aim in Fortnite. If you've never seen what I'm referring to, it basically involves going into playground mode and shooting at a wide array of inanimate objects. People shoot at walls, fences, plants, and some people even go as far as to set up custom-built accuracy training courses built with their own materials. People use these inanimate objects and courses to practice things like jump shots, flick shots, or just improving accuracy in general. I'm not gonna lie, it really does sound like a pretty good idea in theory, but these aim trainers are definitely very flawed in nature, especially on console Fortnite. So on PC, aim trainers for the most part get overwhelmingly positive reviews. You'll see new players using them, medium skilled players using them, and even pro players using them as a way to either warm up, improve aim, or just get used to some new gaming mouse that they just recently bought. And that's specifically where I've heard they're most useful. If you're like a console player transitioning over PC Fortnite, it can be a real big change to go from a controller to a gaming mouse. So a lot of PC players will recommend aim trainers or accuracy courses as a way to really understand how gaming mouses function and just as a way to get used to the new equipment that you're going to be using on PC. Now, on console Fortnite, it's a different story for one major reason, and that is what is probably the biggest difference between PC and console Fortnite: auto aim. PC Fortnite does not have auto aim in any form, mainly due to the fact that you can be so accurate with a mouse that auto aim in a lot of cases would actually hurt you and prevent you from being as precise as possible. On console Fortnite, auto aim is turned on by default, and I would definitely recommend that everyone keeps it on at all times, because just in general, it's going to help you be more accurate. But the hidden negative effect here as it deals with aim trainers is the fact that when you're shooting at inanimate objects on console Fortnite, you are obviously not going to get aim assist. Aim assist only registers when you're moving your crosshair onto actual moving players. And I'm just going to step back for a second and explain the general workings of aim assist in case you guys don't know how it works. The gist of how aim assist works on console Fortnite is it basically makes your crosshairs sticky to some extent. As soon as you get those crosshairs somewhat near an enemy player, the game will do its best to lock you onto that opponent and stay on that opponent for as long as possible. Now, if your aim isn't great, it can only really help you so much, but for any of you guys doubting the importance of aim assist, just try turning it off for like a game or two, and I'm sure you'll change your mind pretty quickly. So as I was saying previously, this is why I believe that aim trainers or aim training courses in Fortnite are basically fool's gold on console Fortnite. Without aim assist on these inanimate objects that you're going to be shooting at the entire time, I guess you can learn some of the general muscle memory of jump shotting and flick shotting, but it's going to be an entirely different ball game when you actually hop into a real Fortnite game with opponents, and now you're getting aim assist on every flick shot or jump shot you try when you just practice for 3 or 4 hours straight without getting any aim assist on the fences or corn husks or trees that you were shooting at. And it's going to be an entirely different experience, and to some extent I think you're almost hurting yourself by doing these certain things. As I was preparing to make this video, I actually thought of a great comparison to how I view the negative effects of aim trainers on console Fortnite. When I was growing up playing baseball, there was this cool little thing called a weighted donut. You baseball players out there may know what I'm talking about, but I'm sure the majority of you guys don't. A weighted donut in baseball is basically an extra maybe 3 to 5 pound weight that you slip on to like the middle of your bat as you're on the on-deck circle taking a few practice swings before you're about to bat. This obviously makes the bat a lot heavier, and therefore makes it so that when you take it off and you actually go up to bat, you feel like you're swinging something a lot lighter, even though it's the exact same bat that you were just swinging in the on-deck circle. Now, in theory, this would be awesome, because if you were swinging something lighter, it would improve your bat speed through the zone, it would make you more accurate with your swing, and it would probably add some power to your swing as well. But there were a lot of scientific studies done on this exact thing, the effect of a weighted donut on hitters in baseball, that pretty much all came to the same negative conclusion, that instead of speeding up your bat speed, it actually slowed down your bat speed. If you guys care about the scientific reasoning behind this at all, basically because you're adding so much weight to such a small part of the bat, it changes the center of gravity and ends up slowing down your bat speed instead of speeding it up. Now, I know that may seem like a bit of an unorthodox comparison, comparing a weighted donut in baseball to an aim training course in Fortnite, but it really does deal with the same principle at the end of the day. Adding in an extra variable when practicing for a specific situation is probably not a great idea. In the baseball example, it was the extra 5 pounds on the bat, and in the Fortnite example, it's the lack of aim assist on playground mode when practicing things like jump shots or flick shots. And speaking of flick shots, this is another point I want to briefly hit in this video. I believe that flick shots on console Fortnite are basically the gun skill equivalent to those quote-unquote, super fastest building clips you see all over Twitter and YouTube. What I mean is that in general they're pretty overrated and don't really translate to making a positive impact on yourself as a Fortnite player. Flick shotting should be nothing more than an absolute last resort for only the highest sensitivity players. Do you really ever see me flick shotting in my gameplays? Maybe I do it every once in a while, but in my opinion, if you're flick shotting in a gunfight, that means you've probably put yourself in a pretty bad situation to start with. If you have good positioning, you're setting up good fights, doing good building to get high ground on people, you should really never need flick shots, and it should be more of, calculated, smartly lined up shots instead of just miracle pray in the dark, flick my thumbstick and press RT, which you see a lot of people idolizing on console Fortnite. So now that I got that out of the way, I want to get to what I would probably consider the core message of this video, and what I like to refer to as, the sad, unfortunate, or hard truth about aiming on console Fortnite, and that is the fact that there is no get good aim quick, fast, in 12 hours, 2 days, 1 week method that some of these YouTubers and players are probably going to try to advertise to you guys, because for the most part, they're probably clickbait at the end of the day. Legitimately, the best way to improve your aim in Fortnite in terms of in-game solutions is to literally just play the game. I know this is probably going to be a letdown to a lot of you guys because, you hear those stories about like the basketball players that locked themselves in a gym and shot like 10 hours a day on just a single basket with themselves, but that is not the way it works in Fortnite. You can't sit in a dark room and practice shooting at a tree with your flick shots and jump shots for 12 hours straight, because with that added variable of aim assist on console, it's going to be a totally different thing when you actually hop into the game. So that is why going in games and just playing Fortnite and maybe putting an extra emphasis on trying to hit as many of your shots as possible is the only way to reliably improve your aim on a game-to-game basis. Now, like I mentioned, in-game, those are the best ways. People are going to advertise aiming courses, you know, oh, put your sensitivity on this, it's for sure the best sensitivity, it'll definitely improve your aim overnight, but those are lies. There are a few things you can do outside of game to hopefully give your accuracy a little bit of a boost in Fortnite. First off, sensitivity. I've touched on this topic a few times before on my channel. Don't just play on 9 or 10 sensitivity because your favorite YouTuber told you to do it. Don't just play on 6 or 7 sensitivity because your other favorite YouTuber does it. Really go out there and experiment with a bunch of different sensitivities until you find one that you really feel comfortable with. If you feel like you can't be accurate with 9 or 10 sensitivity, bump it down. If you feel like you can't track targets fast enough with 5 or 6 sensitivity, bump it up. I'm not going to give the best sensitivity. I personally play on 7.6, but seriously, go out there in-game, a bunch of different game modes, sit down and try out a bunch of sensitivities until you find one that you really feel comfortable with at the end of the day. Next up, I'm going to give a shout out to gaming monitors and control freaks. These are the two pieces of gaming equipment, I made a full video covering this, that will improve your aim more than anything else. My number one tip I could give to a console Fortnite player, if they don't already have one, is to go out and get a $100 or $200 gaming monitor because it will improve your aim at the end of the day. Control freaks are a little bit of hit or miss. Some people find a lot of success with them, some people don't. They're only about $10 in store or online, so for that little amount of money, it's probably worth it to go out there and give it a try if you just feel like nothing else is helping with your aim. So that about wraps it up for this video today. I know it may be a hard thing to come to grips with at the end of the day, but the truth about aiming and accuracy in Fortnite is that at least on console, the most reliable way to improve your aim in-game is simply to play the game. Period. That's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you watched the entire thing, be sure to leave me a comment down in the comment section below. What sensitivity do you play on in Fortnite? I want to see which sensitivities are most and least common, so this will definitely be a good test. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever the heck you want, and I will catch you guys next time.